Welcome everyone. Now, I'm here in my home office in New Jersey. I spent most of my career as a school psychologist and professor of education, where I taught courses in the area of special education and assistive technology. I've been an assistive technology consultant for over 40 years, and I provide services to students in the public schools, private schools, and families. And I spend most of my time with students that have reading and writing disabilities, and many of them can benefit from mind mapping, which I will show you today using Mind Map AI. You have my contact information, so let's get started. I'm going to do just a little presentation, and then we'll get into Mind Map AI. I want to show you how it works. So just a quick overview. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the writing challenges, how to use Mind Map AI, how it can be used to organize ideas, some of the benefits, and then using Mind Map AI, and then taking the next steps. So one of the some of the challenges that students have with who have sorry about that. Let me go back. Some of the challenges that students have that have writing challenges are what I call white screen paralysis. And white screen paralysis looks something like this. The students come into imagine they're in a college or a high school level course, and they have to write a paper on a particular topic. They open up Microsoft Word, Google Docs, or even a mind mapping application, and they're just basically frozen, like deer in a headlight. They have no idea where to start. Many of the students I work with who have language-based learning disabilities have difficulty with what we call ideation, coming up with ideas, and that's where a program like Mind Map AI can really play a big part. So coming up with ideas, and then organizing the ideas, and then composing what they want to write. So this is definitely one of the biggest challenges, and I think this is where Mind Map AI can come in. So with Mind Map AI, one of the nice things about it is that it can help students overcome and just get them started and stimulate their thinking and help them to generate ideas on the particular topic. Once they're able to visually see the ideas and organize them, they're more readily able to figure out what they want to write about and start the composing. And so this is really key. I think that the introduction of AI into mind maps is a really significant feature and a significant technology for students that have writing challenges, as we'll see when I do a demo in the next couple of minutes. So generating ideas is really key. And then also being able to, organize ideas. I've been a mind mapper for probably over 30 years, and it's one of the tools that I go to when I need to brainstorm, organize ideas, break down tasks. And many of the students that I work with who have not only learning challenges, also have sometimes attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, have trouble with just organization. And so being able to move ideas around on the mind map is another key feature that allows them to more efficiently see their ideas come to life and begin the composition of what they're writing. So now I'm going to jump out into a demo. So right now I'm in. Can move this, make this a little smaller. So right now I'm in Mind Map AI, and well, what's nice too, I think, about the application is that it gives you some prompts, which is great. You can also, if you want, create maps from various sources, such as PDFs and other documents. I'm gonna start this. The context is I'm taking an art history class, and we're learning about the impressionistic period and the artist, and I need to write something about Vincent van Gogh. So to get started, I'm just going to go down here, and I'm just going to paste the prompt. The prompt is create a mind map about Vincent van Gogh and his most famous painting. So now the student can get started by just clicking the start button here. And in a couple of seconds, you can see that up here it's generating the map, and there's the map. And let's take a look. So we can see that here's, it gave me some information about Vincent van Gogh, some of his famous paintings, which is great. Again, one of the nice things about MyMap AI is I happen to like right layout. You can see how quickly I can change the layout. I can also change the look and feel. I can even, some students who have attentional problems or have trouble focusing, or even visual issues may find the dark mode to be a preferable mode, which is really nice. So I'm going to go back over here, and one of the things I'm going to do is I noticed that it didn't tell me any information about when he was born and when he died. So I'm just going to open up the chat here, and I'm going to paste that in, and I'm going to click. So you can see that it automatically gave me this information. Now this information is all live, so if I wanted to, I could copy or paste this. I'm going to say add this to the branch life and background. Let's see if we. So you can see that I can use prompts, and with those prompts, you can see that it added it directly to that branch, which is a really powerful feature. And if I want, I could actually change and organize it, which is really nice. So having this the prompt window available can be really really handy. I'm going to dive a little bit further into Starry Night. But before I do that, one of the things too is you can see that you can add tags, icons. You can link, if I wanted to, maybe link this to, let's say, a museum that has Starry Night in it. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to add an image of Starry Night, which I have on my computer, and I hit upload. So again, a lot of students I work with respond very, very well to imagery. And so all I did was I downloaded this image beforehand. It was on my my computer, on my desktop, and I was able to add it. So again, we can make this as visual as we need to. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to type in another prompt. It says, what was the significance of Starry Night? And then add it to the branch famous paintings. So I'm just going to click on that. And you can see that it's processing. And so now you can see that it automatically placed that here and gives me more information. Again, I tend to like to use the right layout. Some people might like left. This makes more sense to me, but you can see how this is beginning to develop and how this can be helpful for a student who has writing challenges. I was wondering, Sabia, are there any questions or at this point, or?
So far, no client.
Okay, great. So this is a really really great feature. And then if the student wanted to, they can always, like I was showing you, they can always reorganize. And what's nice too is they can also, I'm just pressing the tab key, and then so students can also type information manually as well, which is another really nice feature of MyMap.ai. One of the other, just want to show you too, in terms of sharing, you can see you can share the image, you can share a private link or a public link. So again, maybe a lot of the students I can download this in, so I can share it as a PNG, SVG, a PDF, or even a markdown file. If I was working on this and I wanted to bring this into a word processor, what I can do now is I can use the prompt, create an outline. So when I click go, it will, so you can see that I have the text here. And if I want, I'm just going to do a select all. I'm going to copy it. And then if I wanted to, I could open up Microsoft Word. I'm just going to kind of show you. And I can do a paste. There we go. So you can see how the student can go from MyMap AI, develop their ideas, and then have it in Microsoft Word, or it could have been Google Docs or any text editor to continue the writing process. And so this is how I would see the workflow. The student would use MyMap AI to brainstorm ideas, fine tune it, and then export it as an outline and continue to use it in that manner. But I did want to show you some other. So I'm just going to show a couple of other tools that I might marry MyMap AI with. So this is a common tool that is often used in the schools. It's it's read and write from the new company is Everway. It used to be Text Help, but one of the tools that a lot of students benefit from is word prediction. So you can see over here for students that have challenges, I can just begin to type. Let me just get that in there. You can see that I can begin to type, and it will automatically provide me with some spelling support. So was a famous impressionistic impressionism. I'll use impressionism painter. So this can be a really helpful tool that can be used in conjunction with MyMap AI. This is word prediction, and one of the really interesting features of this is what they call topic dictionaries. And so what I can do is load words about Vincent van Gogh, and it will automatically take those words related to Vincent van Gogh and put it to the top of the list. So like if I, let's see if I can, So you can see that it will prioritize the words in that topic dictionary, which can be really helpful for students who have writing challenges or spelling challenges. So that's a very common tool that I would use with students who need spelling support. And you can see it works really nicely inside of MindMap AI. Um, Also, a lot of students with not only writing challenges may have reading challenges, and so I might use something like text to speech, which if I just hover, so this is a oh, so I'll stop. So this is I guess a specialized assistive technology toolkit. Here in the United States, it's probably one of the most popular add-ons for students that have both reading and writing challenges. And you can see how nicely it worked right within MindMap AI. So it's a really nice feature. And again, one of the things that the work that I do is kind of look at how different tools can be used together. So if I was using MindMap AI, I would, and I knew the student had difficulty with spelling, I would suggest that they pair that with this particular tool so that they can get support for for that. So it works really well. And I'm actually going to try something else. I'm going to go here, tab. Now let's see how this also has the speech recognition. So let's see. Starry Night was one of Van Gogh's most important pieces. Maybe not. Let's try that. Van Gogh's drawing of Starry Night was one of his most important pieces. So you can see that a student could also use, I'll just a voice dictation. And this could be used also if I'm on Windows. I could have probably used the built-in support using Windows H, or on a Mac, you can also use their speech to text tools as well. So again, this is just a quicker way for students to input information that again could be used with MindMap AI to make it a more powerful tool set for them. So again, using this workflow, I would have the students use MindMap AI to generate ideas. They may add ideas themselves manually using word prediction, or they may continue to use the prompts with that as well. And then once they have it set up the way they want, they can output it as an outline and bring it into Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Notion, any text editor. So that's one scenario. Another scenario might be, let's see, yeah. Strange. Oh, there we go. Another scenario might be where the student is in a college classroom, and we'll make believe we're in art history, and they have to write a paper, or they may even want to create a study guide. And in this case, the professor or teacher has given them a study guide in a PDF format. So I'm going to click on the little paper clip, and you can see that you can create mind maps from PDFs, text files, CSV, IMG, audio, and video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. What I'm going to do is, and I'm going to bring in. There we go. And I have the professor has provided a document in PDF, and I'm just going to open it. Let's try that again. There we go. You can see that it's uploading the PDF, and I'm just going to hit the go button, and it will take the contents of that document, and it will create a PDF. Oh, sorry. So I forgot you have to use the prompt create a mind map, and you can see that it's generating one. So this could be a great way not only to give students the ability to take a look at the information a little bit differently. A lot of students I work with who have not only writing challenges, have reading challenges. And so this will allow them to visually pull the information out of this file and create a mind map to let them look at the information a little bit differently. Again, this could also be used not only as a study guide, as you can see, but again, this might be, the student may want to use this in helping them to write a paper about the topic. And you can see just how easy that was to create. And again, I could use my word prediction, I can use my text-to-speech tools, but you can see I've taken probably, I think it was about an 8 to 10 page PDF, and I was able to pull out the most important aspects of it, which again could make for a great study guide, or it also may help me figure out a topic that I want to write more about with regard to Vincent van Gogh. So this is a really nice tool in this regard. So down here, if you're not familiar with some of the controls, I can go to full screen. I can center, and again, if on occasion I do work with students that have visual issues, and so you can also zoom in and zoom out on the your workspace, which works really well. So I was wondering, any questions, Sabia? Yeah, I mean, I think, James, thanks for the question. The question is, how do you encourage a student who says, I can't think of ideas? And that's typically what the kinds of students I work with. And so using something like MyMap AI, you could encourage them to, go back into the text and think about some prompts that you may want them to use with MyMap AI. I think too is if you model this for them in the classroom, I think they'd be really excited with the technology, and it may help them to begin to look at some of the ideas. I think one of the things that I found is that you have students that have trouble with ideation, and so they spend time looking at that white screen and not producing anything. And so this gets them much more quickly into the process. And again, you can work with them on some of the prompts or just some things that they want to investigate in their writing. Velvet says, does mind mapping really improve long-term writing skills, or is just a short-term crutch? Actually, there's a lot of research that talks about the use of mind maps in the writing process, and it's been found to be, this is from research, to be a very helpful tool, and we call it non-linguistic representation of information is really important. And again, the flow that I showed is, have the students figure out the points they want to write about based on mind map, helping them generate some ideas. Then let them add some information manually, export it into an outline, and then start the writing process. It's not really a crutch any more than glasses might be, if you need it for vision. A lot of the schools that I work with, these are schools that cater to the needs of students with learning disabilities, employ mind maps from the very beginning of the writing process, and use it very effectively. And there are even schools who maybe don't have even access to digital mind mapping, who teach students how to do paper-based mind maps, just using pencil and paper. So it's a really helpful technique. It helps to break down the process, and it also, one of the nice things too is the ability. And again, some of this, hopefully, some of this will be, the student will be able to do independently. But this is a great tool for the special ed teacher or tutor to work with the student to help them organize their ideas once they start composing and are in the writing process. So I would say that for some students, this is a very, very effective technique for long-term writing projects, especially as students move from high school to college and have larger research based writing projects. This is an important skill. Bastan says, can mind map support students with ADHD? Absolutely. I mean, again, not only can it be used for writing, but again, it helps to break down, tasks. As you saw in this demonstration, students, with attentional problems can utilize this to take large amount of text and create, make it more visual. The other thing too is just want to show you too, for students who have trouble with focus, what I can do is open and close these ideas. So again, for students who have attentional problems, think of this as almost, giving them blinders so they can focus on what they need to focus in on. Again, so when they get done with this, they can minimize this, and then they can go back here. So again, you can see that you can really give them that focusing lens that they need in a mind map to help them, kind of just, decide what's important, and then really focus it without the distraction of all the other ideas that are on the mind map. Yeah, so definitely, it's kind of interesting, the work that I do. When I oftentimes I'm working with students who have language-based problems or ADHD, I get reports from neuropsychologists, and they oftentimes will make the recommendation that students learn how to use mind maps to help break down the tasks and to use it as an accommodation for the writing process. Again, these tools work well not only in teaching the student independently how to use it, but as part of the learning process. So, a regular ed teacher or a special ed teacher could be sitting with the student and reviewing their progress, on the mind map, or share the mind map as part of the writing process. But as I said before, many students, even if you would give them a mind map, who have trouble with ideation, they'd be looking at basically a white screen with a bubble in the middle, and they would have trouble coming up with ideas. So Mind Map AI is a great tool to help them do that initial brainstorming, and then the students can eliminate information from there, just focus in on what they want to explore. And I think the important part is getting into a dialogue with the student around the mind map and helping them to define what they want to write about, and organizing their ideas, maybe even adding ideas as well. And you saw that you can manually add ideas with your voice, or with using word prediction, or typing it in to the mind map, which is fantastic. And then the ability to export it into an outline or share it with your teacher or tutor could be really helpful to help improve the writing skills of your students. So give it a try. I see that for those of you that attended, you can, let's see. Sabia was there. Oh, here we go. You can get 500 free AI credits if you fill out that form that's in the chat. So this will give you an opportunity to check out the application and see how we can work for you and your students. I'm sure Sabia could fill you in on information about the different plans they have for this very powerful application. And you saw how easy it is to use, and having the Copilot application built in allows you really to expand the capabilities. And again, when you I imported this PDF, but you can help students even create study guides by importing, audio files or PDFs. So I hope you found this helpful. I just want to let's go back here. What happened to my slide deck? Oh, there we go. So, as you saw with MyMap AI, you can interact with the MyMap AI. You can use images, tags, links, change the style, and then use prompts to create new information. And I demonstrated using text to speech as well. So I want to, thank you for attending. You can follow me on LinkedIn, as well as if you have any other questions, you can email me directly. I do consult to both schools and families in the area of assistive technology, working with students with learning disabilities, dyslexia, dysgraphia. I spend a lot of time also working with students that are transitioning from high school to college and looking at various note-taking tools as well. But if you have any questions, you need some coaching, I'm available. So if there are no more questions, again, thanks for taking the time from your busy day to spend some time to learn about MindMap AI. I'm sure you found this to be a powerful solution to meet the writing needs of your students.